Good morning. Good morning. Today we're going to take a look at XRP along with some long-term and short-term price action and a few interesting things that I'm observing in the background. So, all right, so XRP, right? Still waiting for our 3-day dot to manifest. We're just chilling, watching all the price action play. Likelihood of the chance of another rollover in the cards here, so we'll have to see how that ends up playing ultimately. And let's zoom in though in the event that we don't have a rollover. Okay, so zooming in on our current price action here on the 1 hour, you can see we had our initial spike reversal, and now we're kind of working back through and filling this gap area here. So this price action though, with a little kind of a downward direction, doesn't look too horrible. Looks like a bull flag basically versus like a triangle here where you can see it broke down off of that triangle, or a bear flag where it's got an upward trajectory rather than a downward trajectory. So we have that going on. So basically off the lows, and then we set a new low in here. We jump over to prior capitulation moves, and you can see kind of what we end up having here. So here's the 10-10 event where we had our scalp indicator go off. We had our bounce, and then we had our little bull flag here before we ended up coming back up to the top of the range, and then we had some more lower. So likelihood of an ABC played out here. Additionally, if we go back to this particular scalp right here, which is another one that we got our indicator to go off here for the Sigma Discord members, you can see that we have a bull flag, and then we were able to come up and set a new higher level right here, and that ultimately then capitulated, right? So we're looking for a minimum this move right here. We don't know if we're going to get the capitulation, but this is the kind of the play that we're looking for here on our current price action. So expectations are an A, B, C, back up to here. And we could even see something, like at $1.60 would be like the final move, and then we would wait and watch to see if we roll over one more time. So note that we have these upper levels of that we could push for. So with all this though, uncertainty, doubt, and fear are all in the same area here. So we jump over to the crypto fear and greed, and you can see today we're sitting at a 9. Last week we were at a 5. Holy majoli, that's crazy. So definitely overdone to the downside. Extreme fear, haven't seen that in like forever, and so it's like insane. And so we've got extreme fear playing out in the overall crypto market with a stacked amount of liquidity to the upside all playing out here. So this liquidity sweep did start up here. We could go lower, of course, but this is starting to get pretty heavy here in the last week of all of this bounce off the lows, right? So they've just been piling up the shorts for one more rollover. They could be right, but they're at least sitting there. And then finally today with the jobs, we ended up getting a beat. So we have average hour earnings was up 0.4, non-farm payroll change doubled. So they actually have now more people getting hired, and the unemployment rate actually fell. And this is bullish potentially for the Fed to continue a cutting cycle, because one of their dual mandates was to make sure that unemployment didn't have an issue and inflation is coming down. So we'll see how the market digests this here today. But realistically, based off of historical price action for XRP, we are looking at a move to the downside, and then we would have a potential reversal up and then down again like we did, and then a move back up to the upside. Or like over here, we had the other one, which was the 10-10 event, a breakout, a pullback, and then another move to the upside. So I'm thinking up is at least on the way. We'll see how we get there, but that's what we'll be watching for over the next few days as we continue to chop through this price action and absorb that jobs number. So probably up into this region right here, 160, big resistance there. A lot of people trapped, so they want to sell to get out. So we'll watch that. Yeah, and then basically lastly, again, crypto fear is out of control, and Sigma coin, right? So with that, we had looked yesterday, if you wanted to get into this Discord to get the indicators that we work off of each day, you can see the Sigma coin has given you yet another discount. So it was definitely overdone right here on the 4 hour, right? We ended up having a pullback, a little bounce, which is great. And then now we've completely reset that 4 hour again with a higher low so far. So if this area is not needed to be taken back with XRP and we start pushing higher, this would be very bullish for the Sigma coin, because the 3-day overall has plenty of price action to the upside still available. And we have a bullish divergence as well, where you can see that the momentum actually came up here and set a higher low despite price action falling. So this is a bullish indicator that's played out here. So we'll continue to watch that. So 3-day gives us some more upside. 4-day is finally reset, and it may take a while for us to chop through this, but we're finally seeing the light. So all right, guys, we will check in tomorrow. So Sigma's looking great. Jobs came in better than expected. Liquidity to the upside doesn't mean it can't go lower, but we got liquidity to the upside and a historical reaction where we come down for an ABC and then ABC back up again into supply, very similar to what we did on the 1010 event and the this capitulation as well. So I'm thinking eventually higher is in the cards. Whether or not we can hold it is the question. So, all right, guys, we will check in tomorrow, and thanks so much for watching.